Hey guys, it's Bart Johnson here. I am back in my hotel room. I have officially finished shooting all of my interviews and coverage of NAB 2016 here in Las Vegas. Now, the show is still going and we'll have one more day of exhibits tomorrow, but I am exhausted and I'm going to go to the show tomorrow without my camera and just kind of go and wrap everything up by having a good time and having a relaxing day. So I hope you guys have been able to check out the content I've put out there and have enjoyed it, because it takes a lot of work and a lot of walking around to get all that stuff done, but I always love it. But I wanted to talk to you guys because, as you may have seen if you saw my video at the beginning of NAB showing you the gear that I am using, I am using for the first time my Ursa Mini 4.6K to record the show. And I picked up, or am demoing, a unit that allows the Ursa Mini to record, instead of to CFast cards, to SSD cards. And I was lucky enough to meet up with the owner and creator of this device, Clifton Stommel, and he gave me a demo unit to record all of my content at the show onto his product. And that product is this guy right here. It's a little box. It's called the Attic C2S. And the C2S is basically CFast to SSD. And what it is this little box takes SSDs, and you can insert the two SSDs in there. And then it has these basically dummy CFast connectors here that you put into the camera. And the camera sees the SSD just as a large CFast card. So it works perfectly with the Ursa Mini and allowed me to record terabytes of data as opposed to the 128 megabytes per, or sorry, 128 gigabytes of data per CFast card that I have. So this was great. I never had to worry about changing cards or swapping SSDs, and it just worked perfectly. Now, as you probably saw, it was extremely reliable. I had no issues with it during the show. All of my content came out great. And for the most part, I really didn't even notice that this unit was on my camera. So that's what you want with something when integrating it into your workflow. You really want it to be able to give you all of its benefits without you even noticing that it's doing anything. So I was able to do that with this. Now, like I said, it's a box here. It's a combination of various different kinds of plastics, ABS bumpers around the edge to kind of protect it, and a nice sort of matte plastic all around. But it is very sturdy, it's very rigid, it doesn't feel cheap, and it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. The cards lock in very nicely. They're not going to fall out. He provides you with some little shims to make them fit a little bit more snug, because SSDs can be pretty thin. So it's fantastic. Now, he recommended that I either pick up Samsung Evo or SanDisk Extreme Pro SSDs, because those are the ones they've tested for reliability purposes. I'm a SanDisk guy, so I got the SanDisk 480 gigabyte Extreme Pro SSDs, and they worked perfectly. I never had any issues. I was recording ProRes 422 4K the entire time, and I never had any hiccups, no drop frames, no issues whatsoever. They work as if it's a CFast card. So that's fantastic. The unit is mountable here with a 1/4 that is available on the bottom. So I was using a mini ball head to attach this to my rig, but you have the flexibility to put it wherever you can mount something with a 1/4. Use a magic arm, mount it somewhere on your Ronin or other gimbal system. So you have flexibilities. It has a power on-off switch, and in terms of power, it takes 12 volts in. I believe it's 12 volts up to 24 volts. So there's some flexibility there, but all you need is 12 volts to run, and it even comes with a barrel to D-tap cable. So I was able to run this right off of my V-mount battery setup that I already was using to power my Ursa Mini. So no extra power requirements, extremely flexible. If you can feed it 12 volts, it'll work. So like I said, the unit itself is very simple. works the way it should, and it allows you to not only record for longer times without having to worry about dumping media at higher data rates, but it also allows you to use SSDs for cost reasons. CFast cards are relatively new, so they're still very expensive. And while they are starting to come down in price, they're nowhere near the size to cost ratio of SSDs. SSDs are only getting larger and larger and cheaper. So if you look at it this way, I picked up two 480 gigabyte SSDs for about the same price as one of my 128 gigabyte CFast 2.0 cards. So if cost is something you're worried about, this is definitely the way to go, and this is something to look into. Right now, this unit is specifically for use with the Ursa Mini and I believe the larger Ursa, but Clifton is in talks with other camera manufacturers to see if we can get some compatibility tests going with other cameras that use CFast 2.0. And there's going to be more and more of them coming in the future, as it is the new, faster sort of media standard for recording 4K and beyond. So guys, I would really recommend this product. I did enjoy greatly shooting the show with it. Like I said, it worked as it was supposed to, and I really never had to think about it at all, which is what you want. So this is available from their company. They're called Stommel Haus, H-A-U-S, and I believe their website for this is ATOCH.com. It's A-T-O-C-H, but it is pronounced Attic. I made sure to ask. If this is something you're interested in, right now it is retailing for $599, so $600, and it's also available through B&H as well. So if you want to go through B&H, then you can find that there. So there you go, guys. That is my quick review after using the Attic C2S box here for the entire duration of the NAB 2016 show. And it's a cool piece of gear. I'm glad I got to use it, and I hope it helps some of you guys out there if you're worried about the cost and size of storing media from these new cameras like the Ursa Mini.